defense and the Demon Deacon squad overall.
The old man of the team, the only junior that starts for the Demon Deacons, his leadership, his ability, and also the development of Sar. Nice little running one-handed hook.
Well, Sar did not score in Wake's finale in Myrtle Beach against Valparaiso, a 6-point victory. Imagine Danny Manning wanted to get the 7-footer involved early. Now he's forced to defend, and he does a nice job blocking the shot.
He's about 7 a game, slow in his offensive moves. Sar can block a lot of shots tonight.
This is Dubose with a couple hands in his face. Rebound Childress, and he gets it to Sharon Wright. And now Brandon Childress with a little giddy up inside to Sar. Good spot. Horde on the offensive glass puts it back in.
What you expect in a game like this today is Wake Forest to dominate 15 feet and in. First 2 shots gone up have gone inside to Sar, the miss, but a good tip in by a good athletic Horde.
Dubose 0 for 2. Sean D. Brown the rebound. Wake Forest out rebounding their opponents by about
experience and confidence, but do what you do well. If that's drive and score, do that. Make jump shots, do that. But you can't turn the basketball over.
Longer than Cottrell has been at Houston Baptist, where he started in 1991. He's taken this program from the NAIA to Division I Independent to the Great West Conference, and now in the Southland, which making the draft 30 years ago. Hoping his 5th Wake Forest team can gradually improve. And Jalen Horde called for the charge.
Wake Forest team is that they can play a lot of positions. Watch for the multiple sides. Guys playing 2, playing 3, playing 4, inside, outside. Good defensive play that time by Houston Baptist.
Pretty good look from the corner. Lynch Daniels unable to hit it. Sar had the rebound, lost it. It finds Childress. Ahead for Wright. Got a chance for it.
Wright Jr.
Foul called on Oliver Lynch Daniels as Wright becomes the first player not from France to score in this game. Sar and Horde, the Frenchman, had the first couple buckets. Huskies now 0 for 7. And the son of Bobby Bonds, the nephew of Barry, who hit 762 home runs, more than Stan Luter in the major leagues.
In the majors, yeah. But in Little League and Pony League, I hit a lot. Hit a lot of home runs.
That's why I specified major leagues. ACC so far this year, 61-10 entering Black Friday in non-conference competition. 6 remaining undefeated teams. Tar Heels suffered their first loss last night, falling to Shaka Smart's Texas Longhorns. Inside, up and under, everything but the bucket for Edward Hardt.
Nice look that time.
Isaiah Musey is the first Deacon substitution. He comes out firing. And the rebound for Lynch Daniels. Can the Huskies find a bucket? 0 for 8. There's one. Edward Hardt in the book.
Good job by Hardt. Continue to run to the hole. Find him, catch it, and score.
Hardt averaging about 8 points per game so far this year. Musius has played well off the bench for Danny Manning, averaging 10.5 points per game. Here's Sar inside, too strong off the glass. Then they got Musius on the foul and the rebound yesterday.
Try to get his guys back, and the story goes about recruiting kids. He said he kind of fell upon recruiting kids in North Carolina. He knows about North Carolina basketball, fundamentally sound. Coaches do a great job, and they wanted to explore and get some kids, and they've really come up bountiful with 5 players on the team for North Carolina.
Another that was the Southland Player of the Year last year for a freshman that transferred to St. John's, David Carraher, as Jalen Horde goes baseline, puts it in.
That first basket he scores off the right side, this time drives off the left side, and very soft and under control. I love his athleticism driving to the basket.
8 minutes gone, Wake's got an 8-point lead. Hardt trying to post up Sar. Nice move.
Hardt was under control that time. They faked the double. He recognized it, goes back to the baseline side and kisses it off the glass. Nice post move.
22-year-old senior center from Phoenix. Torrey Johnson, his first touch at the offensive end, looks to attack and draws the foul. It'll go on Jackson Stent.
He can score inside, he can defend, he can get rebounds.
At the free throw line out of the timeout, Torrey Johnson, the transfer from Northern Arizona, puts in a free throw. You talk about those three freshmen. There are a lot of good freshmen in the ACC. Of course, Duke has three freshmen among the top 16 scorers in the league. R.J. Barrett is number 1, Zion Williamson number 4, Cam Reddish number 16. Blue Devils are not going undefeated, though. I don't know if you heard, they lost the final in Maui out to Gonzaga.
I didn't think they would. I mean, you know, the ACC, nice basket inside. The ACC is very tough, okay? And they still got some games to play. You know, I think what have we got? Indiana this week.
Got about 26 games.
Yeah,
to
but
play.
I'm saying against teams that'll hit back.
Sure.
And won't be intimidated, awed by the athleticism and the highlight reels of Williamson.
Hardt trying to make the acrobatic catch. There was some contact, and Wake will keep the ball.
And you know what, though? That could help the Demon Deacon freshman. You see the lob inside, you see Hardt. There's contact, good concentration. The reason I say it can help you is because they're kind of unheralded as far as a great freshman class. Everyone's talking about the Duke guys. You're not talking about the Wake Forest young guys, which may allow them to develop a little bit and play with a little more poise down the stretch. Everybody's not gunning for those guys yet.
Wake Forest picked second to last in the ACC preseason poll. Amazingly, each of the last 3 years, the team picked 14th has gone to the postseason in the form of the NIT. There's Musius from the outside, knocks down the triple.
The versatility of Musius, able to take the ball off the bounce or either spot up and knock down a jumper, his 8th three-point basket of the season.
And Wake's first of the day. Almost as if Danny Manning said, hey, we're not going to come out and shoot a gazillion threes like they did early in games in Myrtle Beach. We're going to pound it inside. That was just the second three-point attempt. Shondy Brown took one very early, and since then, no three-point tries until Musius hit.
Well, they should go inside. They've out-rebounded 3 of the 4 opponents they played this season. Houston Baptist has been out-rebounded in 2 of the 3 basketball games. Always go inside. It's not like football. You want to establish the run game and then the passing game. You want to establish inside, and then it makes the perimeter baskets easier.
There's the first 3 for Houston Baptist. Jalen Gates.
Gates comes off the bench for this Husky basketball team, averages a shade over 10 points a ball game, can score, another one of the leaders on this team, even though he's a very young player.
Nice job, Shondy Brown juggles, makes the catch, and lays it in.
And a good thing for Wake Forest, if you continue to go inside, you're going to get some high percentage shots. And that's been a difficulty of this HBU team in the 3 games they played, stopping bigger, stronger players in the paint.
Nice pass, Asuje. Pretty good spot for Hardt, unable to finish, and Shondy Brown cleans up the rebound.
One of the things I've noticed about Hardt on tape is he loves to get the ball on the left side of the block, use the left hand, and put the ball on the floor. That time he was just dying to put it on the floor and really couldn't put himself in position to score inside.
By the way, Musius picked up his second foul, so he's gone to the bench. Jalen Gates just picked up his first in the backcourt. Big difference in shooting percentages right now, Stan. Wake at 62%, HBU at 24%.
Yeah, it's a difference.
Wake getting looks near the basket like that. Olivier Sarr delivers.
Sarr will get better and better if he just continues to work and play within himself. 15 feet range, you're deadly.
Jalen Gates off the bench, coming on fire, and he's hit back-to-back threes.
Gates and DuBose lead this HBU team in three-point baskets made, both of them with 6. So he coming off the bench is the firepower that this team needs and will need as the year goes on in the Southland Conference.
Pretty good defense. Bonds knocked it away, and he's going to get 2 at the other end, and just like that, the Huskies are within 4.
Yeah, this is a scrappy basketball team, as we talked about before the ball game. Wake Forest cannot go to sleep at the switch. This is a game where you've got to dominate inside. You can't make careless plays and let them get on a run. Good defensive play by HBU for the basket.
Huskies picked 10th in the preseason Southland Conference poll. Stephen F. Austin, the favorite in that league, and Childress unable to connect. Huskies in transition. Lynch Daniels spins baseline, kicks it. McKenzie unable to hit.
Good look and a costly foul.
5th team foul on HBU.
HBU was very competitive in their season opener against Arizona.
Yep.
The Wisconsin game, the last 18 minutes of the first half and then the early second half, and it wasn't a contest. They went inside and scored and scored and scored. But this is a team that I think a lot of people obviously on this side of the country don't know a lot about, but they're strong, they're very smart, and as we talked about earlier, they're very well coached.
Ron Cottrell in his 28th year. Wake Forest finding the range.
Got to come out and cover Brown.
Shooting the three with 24 on the shot clock, and it's nothing but net for Oliver Lynch Daniels.
Lynch Daniels is a very good spot-up shooter. Ball goes inside, he spots up outside, wide open, knocks down the three.
The 3-year starter at Oak Hill Academy in Mountain Wilson, Virginia. Was that on purpose, do you think? Jalen Hoare is going to get credit for the 2.
All I know is when he caught the ball and scored, he passed. He said, "Thank you for the pass." And we're going to say he did.
Sarr the block from behind. Hardt hanging tough in there. And they got Brown.
Yeah, it was an unexpected starter a season ago due to some injuries in the post. And now it's kind of developed into that offensive threat. Really comes in, was a banger. Getting some offensive gain. This is a positive for what he's been able to do. 8 points.
Jamie Lewis into the game, out there with Sarr and Brown, Horde, and Johnson. Jalen Horde now into double figures once again.
Wow. Can hurt you so many ways.
He's got the length of a young Al-Farouq Aminu, but he's way more polished skill set wise than Farouq was. Inside again.
Been a lot of places. We think about this. We've been a lot of places that, like, really, and done some games in some places. You know?
There's a lot of schools. When
There's
351 some odd college basketball teams, they can come up from all over the place.
A lot of places that you end up. Meet a lot of good people along the way.
No question about that. Kenna Smart, originally from Nigeria. Played at the New Garden Friends School in Greensboro, then played in a few NCAA tournaments with Buffalo. Got married this summer and now playing a graduate year at Wake Forest. 6'10", 245 pounds, gives him some bulk inside.
Exactly. Physical guy, understands the game, knows his role, can go in and mix it up inside. And then you bring Okeke in, another guy that's a wide load. The 2, 3, 4, and maybe the 5 spot can be very solid. There's a lot of depth there for Wake Forest.
And then you wonder who's going to back up Brandon Childress, who has not been to the bench this entire first half. But he's got his 4th rebound.
Don't want to force that.
Childress, coast to coast, high off the glass, puts it in.
Big time play by Childress. And then if Wake gets a stop here, they could possibly score it in the half and then get the ball back to begin the second half. You like those little runs at the end of halves.
Shot and game clock just about in sync.
Got to be smart if you're HBU.
Osuji with 10 to shoot.
Get the last shot now.
Gates, not even close, but on the stick back, it's Stephen Osuji who gets the Huskies.
Wake Forest to come out in the next 8 minutes and establish your ACC dominance over HBU. And if you're HBU, expect that and play accordingly. That's a good start for Wake Forest.
Jalen Horde unimpeded to the rim.
Let's see how HBU tries to get DuBose incorporated into the half-court offense. Not had a solid shooting ball game. Tried to double off the high ball screen there.
Yeah, DuBose averaging 15 a game. He's only taken 3 shots. He's 1 for 3. And Kenna Smart, who has started the second half in the place of Olivier Sarr, fouls the HBU big man Hardt.
You notice the scouting report again on Hardt. Goes inside, pounds the ball to the paint, trying to get his positioning to elevate and score. Smart got caught just a step slow trying to defend the play, and they'll put him back to the free throw line.
I know you're a history guy, Stan. You know what happened 25 years ago tomorrow?
I don't know what happened 25 minutes ago today. What? What? Tell me.
25 years ago tomorrow, Tim Duncan made his Wake Forest debut in Alaska, remember?
Alaska shootout.
In a loss to Alaska Anchorage. Duncan played just 10 minutes. Turned out he was a pretty good player.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
Brandon Childress.
And that young man that just made that basket, his father wasn't too bad either in those days at the shootout.
He was special.
Thank you for telling me that. I will pay homage to my Tim Duncan poster tomorrow. You know, just
where is your Tim Duncan poster?
Hanging up on the wall. Where do you put posters?
Oh, in your bedroom, in your living
room?
No,
not in the bedroom. In the living room. No.
I have a lot of questions. Is it a Wake Forest poster?
Yeah.
Is it a Spurs poster?
I have both.
Team USA?
No, Spurs and their Wake Forest.
Maybe his old swim team?
No, it wasn't when he was a youth. Tim's a friend. I mean, actually, one of them's autographed. Tim's a longtime friend.
Timeout called, and we'll take it to mercifully end this conversation.
And then, of course, Coach Krzyzewski and Jim Boeheim, you're in some, very exclusive company. And what a wonderful man. I had a chance to talk to him recently, and very proud of what he's doing and making sure his student athletes are doing great on the court, off the court. Backcourt, yeah.
One thing we haven't mentioned today is Wake turns it over. And I'm not sure the Wake Forest Demon Deacons have ever gone against a team before whose coach was also a deacon. But Ron Cottrell is the deacon at Sugarland Baptist Church in Houston. So there's a little wrinkle to think about.
Go ahead. You've been waiting for it. Go ahead and say it. Say it.
I mean, the Deacons need to be a little demony today to take down the Deacon. Here's Childress, same spot as before, same result too. Nothing but net. And Ron Cottrell wants another timeout. Just like that, Childress in a doubles game.
Or Parkland, or Reynolds,
David
or Glenn.
County.
What's the other one?
Mount Tabor.
Yeah. I mean, give them all some love today. It's the holiday,
You went to high school in North Carolina, right?
A little bit.
Fayetteville?
No, sir. Who?
Straightaway three for Dubose. Charlotte?
That might get him. No, that might get him rolling. Boston, like you. We were classmates, remember?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. You used to hit me in the head. That's why I forget.
There you go. If you're Wake Forest, you feel them on the run. Get some easy baskets. Good defensive stop right there by HBU.
Easier said than done for the Deeks, who now have just 5 to shoot.
Recognize it.
They do, but there's an offensive foul on Childress, nullifying Johnson, splashing it in from deep.
And he doesn't even look over at the bench because he knows you go inside there, you go under control, good idea. So he takes his eyes off the defender for a second to make the pass. And because of that, great defensive play. The shot by Johnson goes in, but it won't count. Good defensive play by the Huskies.
Houston Baptist will head back home after today. They got the Roadrunners of UT San Antonio coming to town on Monday night. From the outside, Lynch Daniels rounding out. Rebound tracked by Smart. And up ahead looking for Horde, a little too hot on the pass from Johnson.
Good idea, tough play to execute. Horde maybe about a step under the basket further than he needed to be, and understood that Lynch Daniels was right there under him, so he couldn't elevate and really go up and grab that with 2 hands.
Wake Forest now turned it over 9 times. One reason the Huskies are still in the game is they've only turned it over 5 times. And Dubose, that 3 looked good all the way, a little too strong. She wasn't necessarily as ready to play college basketball because he hadn't been doing the summer workouts and hadn't been playing with his teammates for that long. Saw her from Toulouse, France, which is about a 2.5–3 hour drive from Jalen Horde's hometown of Carnot. Apologies for my French pronunciation.
Oh, you struggle in that class too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Into the fourth quarter of this game. Less than 10 minutes to go. Wake by 10 points. That ball trickles out of bounds.
Good idea getting away from the screen by Osuji, but that pass a little low, a little wide for the big guy. You got to give the big guy an opportunity to see the ball in those low bounce passes. They can't bend over as quick. Their hands aren't always up. They're fighting inside to get the basketball.
Quick shot. In and out for Gates. Sarr bear hugging the rebound. Finally shakes the pesky 6-footer Osuji, who wouldn't go away.
Let's see if Wake Forest elects to go back inside. They had some success with the perimeter game, but early in the ball game, they were able to go inside out.
Childress finally missed from outside. Rebound last touch by McKenzie. So Childress is human. He's not going to shoot 100% from three today. Wake's leading scorer right now with 18 points. Inside, Horde now has 18 points too.
Yeah, good job off the move, continuing to just pound the paint.
And Jalen Horde with his 7th rebound of the game. Ahead, Sharon Wright Jr. to the basket.
It may go unnoticed, but that three-point play a moment ago by Sarr opened things up. HBU was battling to keep in this ball game. Sarr makes the three, gives them a 10-point lead, and since then, Wake Forest has been able to go on another mini run. Missed shots lead to transition baskets, fouls, and maybe three-point plays again. Good execution so far by Wake Forest.
Sharon Wright Jr. to the line. Spent his senior year at Legacy Early College High School in Greenville, South Carolina, previously at West Florence High. And the Huskies are kind of self-destructing right now.
And one of the things that Coach Cottrell said to me earlier this week was the length was something that was a concern, and you've seen it the last couple of possessions. The long arms, moving your feet, playing better defense has forced HBU into bad shots and a couple of turnovers.
Mucius to Horde. They got an offensive foul, wave off the bucket.
Second time today, Hardt's been in great defensive position. Crowd's not going to like this, but see, he's in defensive guarding position, and then there's a contact and both try to avoid it. Smart play defensively to get the offensive foul called on Horde.
By the way, Wake Forest in the game is 8 of 11 from 3, 73% from the floor. That would be a Joel Coliseum record if it stands. Obviously, we got some time. Rejected. Jalen Horde says, "Get out," to Edward Hardt.
Horde does a good job from the weak side. Hardt slow getting that up a little bit, and it doesn't matter because the big fella from France says, boom. Or le boom. How about that? He didn't say boom, it's a boom.
Sarr to the bench. Smart returns. Foul line, Leaner wouldn't go for Dubose, and the pinball finds Horde, who's now 2 rebounds away from another double-double.
Huskies are in trouble. Illegal screen.
Smart was guilty. A couple other North Carolina schools come to Winston-Salem.
Charlotte under new coach Sanchez, former assistant at UVA. A young basketball team, you know, they're going to be heard from in Conference USA as the season goes. Nice move.
Edward Hardt, double figures today, season high 12 points. Ron Sanchez's old team, the Virginia Cavaliers, holding a 5-point lead over Wisconsin with 28 seconds left in the battle for Atlanta's championship game down to the Bahamas.
First team to 50 wins.
It was 33-18 at the half. That's a traveling violation. Turnover number 15 on Danny Manning's squad. You think about how Wake Forest started last year, Stan, and how they've started this year. I mean, last year began with a back-to-back losses, Georgia Southern and Liberty at home. It kind of just threw the entire season upside down. Wake Forest obviously has a really tough conference schedule with how good the ACC is. By getting some convincing wins and taking care of business at home, the Deacons will give themselves confidence heading into that ACC schedule.
The Davidson game, we don't know out of that. There's a drive again by DuBose. Almost gets his hands on it in the strength of being able to finish the play. But getting back to that, the Davidson game, you don't know what to expect out of Davidson. They're going to be tough. Tennessee, they'll probably be an underdog in that game. But Charlotte, Gardner-Webb, those are games, Cornell at the beginning of the year, are games you would expect Wake Forest to win and to ride the momentum. This is a season of learning for the Demon Deacons, a very young basketball team with a lot of talent, and they've got to learn how to play, they've got to learn how to win, they've got to learn how to play together.
And Tennessee's got a top 5 caliber team right now. They got a big game tonight.
I was about to say, aren't they playing Kansas sometime the next day or two?
Kansas at the Barclays Center this evening, 9 p.m. That'd be a good game. Rick Barnes versus Bill Self.
Kansas had a tough game, a tough win against Marquette the other day. A lot of big early season basketball games to just kind of give you an idea how good teams are going to be. Long way to go in this season.
Childress has to shoot it. Strong rebound inside. They continue to battle. No one wants to let go. Smart and DuBose clawing for possession.
It's mine. Look like some people over at Haynes Mall.
Black Friday.
Looking for a sale item right there. Look at that.
What time did you get to the mall this morning, Stan?
Man, come on, man. Come on, really? We were together until you. Now, man. If you're expecting a Christmas gift from me, don't look for it any sooner than Christmas Eve. Into the free throw line often. But so far this year, partly due to the competition and then also living off a lot of mid-range shots, have not been to the free throw line and made more than 20 times in the season. So again, you've got to be able to make free throws, especially in opportunities to change the dynamic of a game like that possession could have for HBU.
Wake's done a pretty good job on Lynch Daniels in the second half, denying him open looks. Wake hasn't done a good job on the defensive glass. Second chance bucket there for the Huskies.
He came over off the double team of Art, and that time when he misses a shot, you're able to get the rebound. McKenzie again showing his athleticism at 6'5", able to finish with the little baby jump hook.
6 points for McKenzie, and the Huskies on a 6-0 run over the last couple minutes. Back to an 8-point game.
I like the ball movement for Wake right now.
Leads to a Brown 3 that grazes the iron, but the rebound tracked in the corner by Musius, and he's going to go to the line for 1-1.
Lynch Daniels trying to come in on the double team, maybe get the swipe there. Gets a little bit too much hand of Musius.
Musius just 3 points so far today. Scored 14 in the opener. Just missed the front end of a 1-1. Also had 14 against St. Joe's. Wake having a great three-point shooting day and a rough free throw shooting day, if you can make sense of that.
Not his shot. He's yet to make a three-point basket, and when you're trying to balance out possessions, may not have been the shot that the Huskies wanted at that time from that particular player.
McKenzie's now 0 for 5 from 3 on the year. Childress undeterred. He'll get back to the line, and that's good news for Wake because Brandon is the guy that the Deeks are going to want to have at the line late in games this year.
Drive and get the defender on his back, kind of stood up just a little bit out of your defensive stance, recognized that, and attacked him.
There's this thing that they like to talk about called the commentator's curse. Now, I don't believe in that at all. However, there has been some evidence in the past couple minutes.
Don't worry about it. He'll make this.
Thanks for bringing us back to equilibrium.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking Brandon.
No, I was thinking, you thinking me. The announcer's curse. There are two people up here.
72-63. Wake by 9.
And after that made free throw now, Wake Forest tries to put a little token pressure on the basketball, take HBU out of their comfort zone, deny those first and second cutters and passers.
Poked away by Smart as DuBose drove down the lane.
Now, for HBU right now, 4:42, plenty of time. You've got to be quick with your execution and your cuts and make sure or take sure shots. You can't rush this thing. You find yourself losing the game by 18 to 20 points or more. Got time. Drive.
Smart went straight up. Ball deflected off him. 3 in the shot clock here for the Huskies. Jalen Hord's coming back in.
Good job of Smart holding his position on the drive. Verticality. It's good defensive play. 3 on the shot clock for the Huskies.
Nice move. Gates for 3.
Bam!
He's got 15 points off the bench. Matching a season high. Also had 15 against Arizona.
Under control, the head and shoulder fake, got his feet reset, and buries a 3.
Jalen Hord takes it. Rebound, Bonds. Bonds coast to coast, rejected by Sarr, but Hardt sticks it up and in, and it's a 4-point game with 3:46 to play.
The rebound follows up. We got a 4-point game. Hardt now with 14 points.
Each team with 1 timeout remaining.
Careless.
And Wake turns it over for the 16th time. This would make it a 1-point game. No, and Jalen Hord with his 9th rebound.
Gates was feeling that. Don't fault him for that shot. Mike could have got a better one, but he's hot, so he says, I'm going to take this one.
That ball was halfway down. Deeks have turned it over 4 times in the last 5.5 minutes. Letting the Huskies back in it, trying to create himself. Sharon Wright Jr. gets bailed out by the foul call, and we'll get a couple free throws. Second foul on Bonds. Both teams in the double bonus the rest of the way.
Every game Wake's played this year, they've made more free throws and attempted more free throws than their opponents because of the strength of their inside game. Now with 3:04 remaining to play, you got to continue to think drive, foul, and make your free throws. Value the basketball.
'19-year-old Wright goes 1 of 2. It's a 5-point lead with 3 minutes to go.
Let's see if they try to run a little something for DuBose. Your eyes are on Gates, and DuBose, as that leading scorer, can make a play. There's your double.
Here is DuBose, gets the screen from Hardt, unable to bank it in. Hardt tips it out of bounds. It'll be Wake Forest ball. Wake Forest, more than 6 minutes since their last field goal. Childress, 1 of 3. Deeks in double figures. Outside Johnson. Rebound Bonds. These pesky Huskies will not go away. Picked 10th in the preseason poll in the Southland Conference, and Bonds unable to finish with the left hand.
Didn't think he could get to the basket, kind of flips one up, anticipating the block shot. Didn't happen.
Under 2 minutes now. About 7 minutes since Wake's last field goal.
Spacing, take your time. Don't force anything. Test your passes under 10 clock.
Torrey Johnson, baseline. Trying to take a charge, but the Huskies defender, Philip McKenzie, was inside that restricted area.
You get down defensively for HBU right there. You're forcing baseline. You got to stop the baseline. Put that foot there, make him run over. You could have had an offensive foul, but you're slow getting over on your rotation. Great job of recognition, and Johnson will go to the free throw line.
5 points for Johnson.
Johnson's a kid that averaged about 11 points a ball game last year, or throughout his career, I should say, at Northern Arizona. 80% free throw shooter so far this season for the Demon Deacons.
He was a lumberjack one year, and then he became a Demon Deacon.
A Demon Deacon.
Critical possession here for the Huskies offense.
Don't have to get a three, but you got to get a basket.
Dubose gets a basket. Gives him 10 points in the game.
For HBU, you want to keep the ball out of Childress' hands. He's your best free throw shooter, although Johnson's an 80%er and knocked his last two down.
And they're going to send Wake's best free throw shooter to the line. Childress did miss 1 of 2 his last trip. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists for Childress today. He's made multiple threes in every game so far this year.
Early in the season, had some good looks against A&T. Had three, and actually 3 of the 4 ball games he's played, not including today. So he's getting some really nice looks and taking advantage of the opportunities when he can score.
Childress matched his career high with 18 in the opener against A&T. He's now got a new career high, 21 points.
His leadership this season, his ability to perform under pressure is going to be vital for the Demon Deacons' success.
Under a minute. Gates, no. Tippin, yes. McKenzie.
So smooth under pressure. You wouldn't know if this was final minute of a basketball game you're trying to win, if it was in his backyard shooting with his dad. Great composure, finishes high. Watch his follow through on this shot. Bends the knees, locks in on the front of the rim, bend, extend, and in.
Career high 23 points. Wake's last 8 points have all come at the free throw line. And a chance. I was thinking to myself yesterday.
Power players.
Yeah.
Power. Missed it.
Loose ball, if you're wondering, like I was.
This is a designated spot. Little guy inbounding him versus big guy with long arms.
They get it in. Braxton Bonds picked up by Sharon Wright Jr.
Get a good shot.
Lynch Daniels back to Bonds, going to the basket, lays it in. 1-point game. 14 seconds left into Childress. Double team to the backcourt. They called a foul. Childress, 2 free throws coming up. 10 seconds left. You like the attack of the rim and getting the quick 2?
Yeah. Get the best look you can with that much time remaining. Had it been less than maybe 10 seconds, maybe you have to take the 3. But they had time. They drive, they get the baskets. It's a 1-point game. Childress goes down. Even if he makes both of them, you have an opportunity at HBU to tie the ball game at the buzzer. Now, the question I would ask is that if you're Wake Forest, if Brandon makes both of these free throws, he's made one, do you foul? You know, I work so hard in a game not to foul. I'm kind of scared of that.
On the front. Wake Forest controls the tap. Each team gets one more timeout. 5 minutes on the clock. Brandon Childress, career high 25 points and counting. Wake Forest still doesn't have a field goal in now more than 9 minutes.
It's the 19th turnover by the Demon Deacons in this basketball game.
And I'd say that the Huskies have played solid defense, but this is not, you know, a Rick Pitino pressing national championship team.
It was an unforced turnover, basically. Now you settle in and run your half-court set if you're HBU.
Lynch Daniels over to Dubose, the reason we're still here. Huskies turn it over for just the 9th time.
Tough pass to complete.
Childress to the open man, right, takes it. Way off. Horde on the offensive glass.
Weak side rebounding. Horde's having a great game again. There for the score.
He's got 21. Wake breaks the tie up by 2. Dubose says why not, and hits another.
Gotta come out and contest that shot, Evan.
That right there gives the Houston Baptist Huskies their first lead of the day.
The big-time scorer, the leading scorer for the Huskies. Back-to-back deep threes.
18 now for Ian Dubose.
Showing a little trap action, a little 1-3-1.
Childress to Musius. He'll take it. No. Horde was fouled.
Good box out position by HBU, but you saw the length of Wake Forest that time. Keep the ball alive, and Horde's able to reach over the crowd and get the basket as Daniels goes out of the ball game. I think that foul was on him, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Oliver Lynch Daniels hit a 3 very early in the first half and then did not score again. Departs. 4 rebounds, couple assists in 27 minutes. Horde now 1 for 4 from the line in this game. He's gotten to the line a lot so far this year. This is his 34th attempt. That's good. So Horde's got 22. Childress has 25. And the Deeks still have not secured a win.
Good pressure.
Officials looking at each other.
I'm not certain that ball did not go off the foot of Gates. Good defensive play by Brandon. Yeah, it goes off. Yeah, it does.
Off Childress's foot. Dubose gives it up to Bonds. He'll take it up the floor. 3 and change remaining in the overtime.
So let's look at matchups now. Shawnee Brown is guarding Dubose. This is more length, a little stronger player. Nice pass.
Hardy. Childress, Brown, right. Horde and Smart for the Deeks. Sharon Wright Jr. for 2.
Nice call for the basketball. Knew exactly where he needed to be on his spot. Elevates and scores. Sharon Wright Jr. Nice defense right now by Wake. Everybody's down in defensive stance. Feet are active, hands are active. Everybody's talking.
Game, 2:19 to play. Last time Wake Forest went to overtime was a double overtime loss at Pittsburgh, February 16th, 2016. Childress for 3. Jalen Horde, the rebound. Triple teamed, gets it to Brown, and Wake will reset.
Nice effort there by Horde to keep the ball alive. Smart by Chaundi Brown not to try to create something on his own. Run some clock, get your basket, up by 1.
10 to shoot. Wake's got to do something now. Childress to Horde, middle of the floor, finds Smart. 2 free throws coming.
like the execution there. High-low, doesn't force anything. That's a play you've got to finish.
Smart's first 2 free throws of the day were good. Had not taken any free throws in the Deacs' first 4 games. Trying to give Wake a 2-point lead here with the second. There you go. All right, 89-87, 90 seconds to go. Buckle up. Dubose, pestered by Brown, takes it. Childress the rebound, and he's fouled from behind by Hardt, who's apologetic.
Well, he's 6'10". He didn't see him down there.
2 free throws coming for Childress.
Long shot. Hardt's trying to get there for the rebound, takes off, and he's just, oh, what's that down there? Oh, my bad. Brandon understood. Says, I'm going to the free throw line. Wake Forest can get some extension in this basketball game. A little separation if you knock down your free throws. Put more pressure on HBU on the other end.
His previous career high was 18, which he had scored twice against Duke on January 23rd earlier this year, and 13 days ago against the Aggies of A&T. Childress gets the bounce, and he's got 27 points.
The poise and the leadership of the junior, Brandon Childress, down the clutch moments. Don't need a 3 right now for your Huskies. Just get a basket, get a solid basket. A 3 would be good if it's in your rhythm and range.
Gates, always in rhythm. Wow.
It's huge.
Huskies will try to play good defense. They don't need a foul. And that was good defense. Bad decision by Childress.
Soft pass, too far across the court. Good defensive play by Hardt. Tries to make up for the free throw made.
Hardt sets a screen. Osuji picked up by Childress. A lot of dribbling. Flips it to Hardt. Underneath, steps through, puts it in. Huskies take a 1-point lead.
Didn't make the free throw, but I can make a layup.
Time.
And they drop back into it, so it's going to be Bonds versus Childress.
Huskies have never beaten an ACC opponent. That could change in 12 seconds with a stop.
Need to hurry now. Got to look for the drive.
Childress pulls up for 3. No! Rebound tipped around.
28% free throw shooter going into this afternoon.
Goodness gracious. He didn't even catch the net. Looked like Ollie early in the movie Hoosiers.
He missed that too, didn't he?
Threw it about 10 feet. He needed to throw it 15.
Gotta hit the rim.
He
oh, wow.
banks this one in.
Okay, here we go, Wake.
Wake down by 2. 3 seconds to go.
Plenty of time to get it down.
Childress. Just throwing it up high. It's intercepted by Childress. His length of the court heave is short, and Houston Baptist